Good morning, everybody. The last video we did was about adding this drawer box to this base cabinet. We added the box, and we did it with the parametric system. I mean, we set all the values with the parameters, using parameters. So we are going to finish up this cabinet. We are going to add some more parameters that I think we need for the safety of this cabinet. We are going to name some components that I forgot to name when we create this. Let me hide this portion over here. As you can see, I have some components over here that are not named. I'm going to name them right now. It's a good practice to have them named. So this is the drawer box rear end, and this one is the drawer box. I'm just going to put front end. I'm going to delete the drawer box. I'm going to take that out of the name. So it's going to be, let me leave that as a drawer side, front end, and this one is the drawer bottom. Okay, I'm gonna leave that just like that. So a good practice is to add another component. I'm gonna hit over here, click new component, and I'm going to name this component drawer box. I'm gonna hit OK. As you can see, I have already activated. When you do that, you get the new component activated. So I'm just going to select them and drag them to this new component. So all the parts, all the components of the drawer box that we just created in the last video, I'm going to drag them to this new component. So I should have over here 5 components: drawer side, drawer bottom, the mirror drawer side, and the front end and the rear end. When you close over here, you just see that I have in this cabinet, I'm going to select activate the main component. You'll have just 4 components, main components on this cabinet. I have the legs. I have a component for all the legs that I could hide just clicking over here. If I want to hide the door fronts and the doors, I just hide over here just like that. The drawer box that we just created, I could hide it over here, and I don't have to find all the components of the drawer box and hide them or do anything with them, just finding each by one by one. So with this method, you will just get to them real easy. If I want to work with one of these components, I just open them up, and you'll find the components right here very easy. Also, when you activate these components, let me activate just the drawer box. You'll see that you will have the features that create them very easy over here on the timeline at the bottom. and that will be a lot easier when you are in need of making any modifications to the file. So if you activate the main component of this file, you'll see that the timeline is very big. So when you have a big assembly or big component or big part, maybe you're going to have a too big timeline, and it might be difficult to find things on the timeline. So if you have them organized like that, it's going to be a lot easier for you. So if I want to hide the cabinet case, I just hide over here, cabinet case, and all the parts related to the cabinet case, they just hide, and you could see better what you need on that particular moment. So that's a good practice to do that, to do it like that. Okay, we just did what we need to do. Actually, we needed to do that at the time we did the cabinet, but the last video was very long, so I just forgot. I was tired, and we are doing that now. So let us add some parameters and functions to these cabinets, and those are optional, but they are good to have, and I'm going to show you why. For example, let me put this on the side over here, and let me bring up the parameters table. For example, we created this parameter, the slide length, and we just set the value over here. But we know the depth of this cabinet is 22 inches and 7/8 of an inch. So if somebody forgot and put over here like a 24 inches slides, let's see what happened. You're gonna have your design like break. You see the drawer box is going all the way to the back, and you don't want that to happen, because if you send this to the manufacturer section of the Fusion 360, you may have, if you don't see this, you may have bigger boxes than the one you need. So a good thing to have is to use the operators of the parameters that are available for Fusion 360 files. So let's find out how do we deal with this. Let me put over here again 20 inches back, and it will just go back to a normal state. So everything is fine, still fine. So let's deal with that. Another advantage of having these components, assembly components, is like if you want to do like a drawing, if you go to drawing, design, from design, you could make, or if you use animation, you could make a very easy, like for example, a drawing just for the drawer box, or an explode view using animation with just one component. So it's going to be a lot easier for you if you do it like that. Like for example, I want to add some base view over here. I'm just going to real quick create just for you to know. Just let me change this over here. Okay. So if you want to do it just like a drawing for the drawer box, you just hide the other ones, and you have your drawer box right here. It's very easy. If you want to add a table with the components, you're just gonna have those parts related to the drawer box right here, as you could see. And as you could see, the good practice of naming the components is because that name comes over here to the part list on the drawings. So remember to do that every time you make a component, name them right, because when the time comes when you need a drawing, it's a lot easier if you do it like that. So let's go back. Let me just discard this. I don't need it right now. Don't save. We are going to start making some change on the parameters table. Let's go ahead. So right here we are at the left panel sketch, and what we need to do is to put some limits over here to the side length of the drawer box. This is the drawer box side, and we're going to put some limits because we don't want the side of the box to go over the back or through the back of the cabinet. That won't be correct. So actually we want to have some space, free of space over here between the back of the cabinet and the back of the drawer box. So we need to subtract the nailer thickness, and we need to subtract the back material thickness. And we are going to do that utilizing the minimum and maximum operators on the Fusion 360 parameters. So let's do that. Let's try to do that right now. Right now we just have a parameter over here, which is a slice length. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to start with the max operator, and I'm going to put the first parameter for this max operator is going to be the minimum drawer box length that we create, semicolon, then I will add the minimum operator with a couple of parameters inside, values inside, which are going to be the first one, the slice length, semicolon. The second parameter is going to be the calculation. So because it is a calculation, it might finish up with a fraction of a number. We don't want it to have that. We are going to use the floor operator, open a parenthesis, and we are going to calculate now the depth of the cabinet minus the nailer thickness minus the back material thickness minus some space that we need on the bottom, on the back, which is going to be for now 1/2 inch. So we close this, and I need about 3 parentheses to close everything, and I'm gonna hit OK. So it says now that I'm having 18 inches over here. So let me put this on the side, and let me open the parameters table, and it says over here that I have a 20 inches slide length, but it's giving me just 18 inches, and I have a lot of space over here. So I made a mistake that I need to find. What I did was, on the minimum, I started with max operator, and the first parameter that I put over there was the minimum drawer box length. I think that's okay. I put a semicolon, and I use the minimum operator, which needs 2 parameters, and the first one is the actual slice length, and it's going to give us the minimum between the slice lengths or the calculation, which is the depth of the cabinet, the nailer thickness, and the back material thickness. Now I see the mistake. what I put over here was not the nailer thickness. I put the nailer's width, which is, I know it is 4 inches, so that's why it's giving me that. So I need over here nailer thickness. Nailer thickness. Okay, that's the one correct. And I'm gonna hit enter now. Now I'm having my 20 inches like it says over here on the parameters table. So let me try to get over that. Then the back of the cabinet now. I'm gonna put a slides length of 28 inches and let's see what happened. So it's giving me now only 21 inches because it won't let me go through the back of the cabinet anymore using those functions, those operators. So that's correct. We don't want to go over 21 inches according to the calculation we set. So if I put over here 8 inches now, it's just giving me a drawer box length of 10 inches, which is the minimum we set with a parameter. We use a parameter for the minimum, and we use a calculation for the maximum of the drawer box length. So if somebody later put over here another value which is not correct according to the side of the cabinet, according to the depth of the cabinet, it will give us a correct measurement. So you don't want to have a 21 inches slides. I don't know if somebody could find them, but you will see that something is not correct if you are getting 21 inches drawer boxes length. So for now, I'm going to set the value that we always use, which is most of the time, I mean, which is the 500 millimeters depth under mounts, which actually the value that we're supposed to put is 490 millimeters, which is 19 inches and 291, I believe. So that's the one. So if you set a value over here because you are using European slides different, that is not round, it will give you the real number. It will just run over the one that goes over the maximum possible size for that drawer box. Like for example, if you put over here 23, it will give you a maximum of 21, and it's round. So if you set over here a value which is not round, it will just work okay. I'm setting 19 inches and 291. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope you guys understand this. This is a little bit confusing, but when you use it a couple of times, you'll get used to it. So don't worry too much. Let's do that again with the parts, actually seeing the parts over here. What we are going, let me put it right, and let me hide this. Okay, so I have the cabinet right there. If I put at 8 inches depth length for the slides, it's gonna give me 10 inches. That is now 8 inches. And if I put over here 35, it will give me 21. So we will keep me inside of the cabinet, not outside. So that's good to have. It's like a protection. Well, thank you very much. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because I'm doing this video to create a big, a complete cabinet and closet library just like you do in those regular softwares for cabinet making. So that's what I'm doing. If you like it, if you are interested in that, just subscribe to the channel, and you'll keep getting those notices when I make some videos. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye.